Be delusional. Nothing matters. What reality tells you doesn't matter. What people tell you doesn't matter. What you think of yourself, that doesn't matter. I mean, it matters what you think of yourself because we're going to change it today. But what you currently think about yourself is not important. If you want to change your life, you have to change yourself first. And to change yourself, you have to understand that what life says, it's not important. Like if your economic results don't match who you are, that doesn't matter. If your body doesn't match who you are, that doesn't matter. Because the difficult thing of being delusional is that our ego and confidence is being constantly attacked. Because when we want to feel like successful people in any matter, maybe you want to feel successful in business or the gym or painting or university or whatever. But reality currently shows bad results, like you're not making money or your paintings are bad or your gym results are bad or whatever is bad, then what happens is your confidence is being like challenged. Reality says, why are you so confident if you don't have this specific thing? You are a failure. So we have to face this challenge every time we are delusional. But guess what? If you stay consistent on being delusional for long enough, you will build an automatic identity. That means this new identity will become the only identity inside your brain. So when that happens, you win. This is your brain. And your brain lives in the world, and the world is complex. You have to get food, you have to reproduce, you have to socialize. Those activities require huge amounts of energy. So what the brain does is automate processes. That is mapping situations with actions. So every time a situation that is familiar happens, the brain already has the required action to survive and be successful in that specific situation. Now, how does the brain automate these actions? That's easy. By storing data of the past, interpreting that data, and using this framework of data and information to create actions automatically. But let's try to decompound this into first principles so we understand actually what this means. Your brain creates what I call an operational framework. An operational framework is made with data and information. Data means memories. So if you someday socialized with some person, your brain probably stored that memory. But that memory has no significance by itself. So the brain interprets that memory and creates information. Suppose you think you are shy. So that day, with that specific person, you went and tried to socialize. But the interaction was extremely awkward because you were shy. You thought you were shy. So you acted in a super awkward way, an unconfident way. Well, the brain stored that memory, that experience, and also create this conclusion. I am shy because this happened, this happened, this happened. And the person said this and did this. So that's data and info. And your brain stored it. And your brain does that exact same thing every time you do something. So if you try to build a business or a skill and you failed, your brain probably stored that and said, like if you are undisciplined, so you worked like few hours every day and you abandoned it after 2 weeks, then your brain will say, I am inconsistent undisciplined, and not successful. So if you use that data to build a new business, you will fail once again because you are using old data. It's not old or recent, it's just data. So you are using specific data that tells you that you are a failure to operate in the reality and build a new business. But the reality will be failure because you are predicting failure. You already think that you are a failure, but you're not. You're not a failure. You're not none of this. Like, you're not a failure or successful. You are just are. You're a consciousness. And you create an operational framework to interact with the world and automate processes. So you optimize energy spendings. So you can decide who you are. Now, let's see. Your operational framework can be divided into two big groups: your identity and your environment. What is this? Your identity is who you think you are, and this conditions your behavior in great manner. If you think you are undisciplined, you will be undisciplined. You will act in an undisciplined way. It's that simple. It's that simple. So your identity is who you think you are. So you are not who you think you are just because. You just believe you are that kind of person, that person. But you can change it whenever you want. And no matter, nothing matters. Nothing matters. Like, nothing matters. Not what people say, not your results, not what your brain tries to do to keep your identity alive. It doesn't matter. Like, you can just change. And your environment is what you think of your environment. What you think your environment is like how the people is, how money works, how the market works, everything. So your environment is also important. But now let's try to focus on your identity, because first of all, it's important to master your identity, but both are similar. Like, you can change both in a similar way. It just takes delusion or awareness, which is not the same. You have to be aware to be delusional. But so what the brain does is basically use all this information about yourself and about your environment to do one thing, and that is predict. Every time your brain receives data from your environment through your senses, the brain automatically makes a prediction. Automatically. So if you want, for example, to do something in the next few hours, like, for example, hanging out with friends, or be cooking, or studying, or building a business, like working on your business, your brain will automatically predict what's going to happen. And not in a foggy way, like, oh, I will work and it will be fun. It will predict what will happen, like, as exact and precise and detailed as the brain can. And that is a lot of detail. Like, just do it. Just try to imagine what you will do today. You're like, think about it. Your brain will make a prediction automatically. And that prediction is based on this information. So if you think you are undisciplined, you are unworthy, you are not smart, and you're trying to work on your business, your brain will probably attach certain emotion to that prediction. And that prediction will be failure, or maybe you see yourself working for a couple of hours, but like, you have some negative emotions attached to it, because in the end you think you will fail, or your brain is predicting failure. You just have to be aware. You just have to think. Minds are complex. Our brains are complex. So there is no exact way to explain every case, and it's even more difficult if I don't know you. But you have to be aware of that prediction that your brain will create. And you usually use that prediction as if it was real. Every time we experience these predictions popping up on our minds, we just believe it true. But it's not that way. It's not true or false. That's my main point here. That prediction is not true or false. Actually, the brain sometimes fails, and we can prove it. Imagine you are in the nature and you see a bear. So your brain says, if I get close to the bear, I will die. And you will predict the exact situation. You will see yourself getting damaged by the bear. And your brain also says, if I run away, I survive. But what happens is the bear is faster than you and stronger than you. And if you run, the bear will probably see you. So the prediction is, if I run, I survive. So the brain is predicting success and is predicting you being quiet with your people back home when you survived. But what happens is the bear will catch you. So the prediction is absolutely wrong. Probably the brain will learn from this experience if you survive like the bear attack. And the next time you will try to find another solution. But sometimes these predictions are wrong. And most of the time, those predictions are wrong. Because if you think you are confident and you are predicting a social interaction in an awkward way, or you are predicting that your business will fail because you are undisciplined, or you are predicting that nobody will care about your art because why? I mean, if you're bad, if your art is bad, well, that's wrong. You believe that, so you act according to your predictions. But your predictions may be wrong. And it doesn't matter if they are wrong or right. It just matters what you want. If you want to be successful, you want to build a business, you want to build a painting skill and create beautiful paintings, or master the gym skill or whatever, you just have to believe you can, and you just have to become the cause of the effect. So you just want to find what skills and beliefs do you need inside your brain to become that specific cause to generate the effects you want. And that takes analyzing this system inside your brain. Actions. Your brain uses these predictions to create actions, to design actions and execute them. So that's important. But if you want to change who you are, you have to change your actions. Sorry, if you want to change your reality, you want to change who you are. So your actions change and your reality changes. Now, if you want to change your actions, you have to be aware of this system inside your brain, which is automatic. So you can change your operational framework, that is what you believe of yourself and what you believe of your environment. So you change your actions and then your reality changes. So it doesn't matter what reality says, what people say, what you say. Just change. Just make the decision of being a different person. Just make it. Make it. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you feel shy of making the decision of saying, I am successful, I will make it. From now on, things will change like I changed. So reality will adjust. I am a completely brand new person. The past doesn't represent me at all. I am successful. I will show it. Like, I work hard every day. I am disciplined. I am smart. Whatever you want, like, you just have to believe it deeply. Not saying out loud, like, you can use the method you want, but you have to believe it deeply. You have to believe it deeply and make the choice of being the right person. When you do that, you start creating neuronal pathways in your brain that will get reinforced when you create evidence and you create this awareness of making the choice will reinforce those neuronal pathways. So how do you do this? It's really simple. It only takes awareness. You have to be aware of your thoughts, of your predictions, of your beliefs, and all of this system. You have to be aware of this system inside your brain. Every time your brain shows you a prediction and you visualize yourself doing something, you analyze. You analyze the emotions that are attached to that certain or a specific visualization or prediction. And if you think that prediction is good, you let it go through. If you don't like it, because you know that will generate failure, you change it. You change it. How? You have to visualize yourself in a different way. You can create a prediction consciously, or you can go back to your identity and decide who you are, and then prediction will change. Like, you have to fight your thoughts until your brain is forced to create a positive prediction. But when that happens, you design new actions, and those actions will be executed by you, and that will change your reality little by little until you make that new identity automatic, and that is win. You win. You already win. So I hope it helped. I hope I explained myself. Bye.